I wanted to open this stream because I want to keep talking about the hunting ground rebalancing. It is something that is currently like in the mouth of every Tibian, and it's really something I want to be talking on right now. I've been thinking about all of the things that have been happening. The forum is on fire. We have like 100 pages by now. I did post it something, but overall the reaction from the community has been mostly negative. They don't like this change. They believe it's something that has been done poorly. I don't know what else to say about that, because I do believe the intention is good, but the approach has not been the best. Because I don't want to say it's bad, because they are changing things and it's a drastic change. But to say that it's terrible, that it should be reverted, it's not something I would truly say. So yeah, that's why I'm here, explaining again the hunting ground rebalancing for those who don't know what's happened. We have news in Tibia.com that explained that there are some places that show a little bit of inequality, and they want to address this. By doing that, they took the top 20 hunting grounds and they basically took the XP and profit and took it away for some spots. We can see it here. There is a table about it. And we can see that the most affected creatures are those from Ferumbra's Ascendant. Library is also affected. And we can also see that skeletons were affected, and some Asuras, not all of them. The true Asuras were left untouched. And we also have the Grime Lich, Hellflayer, Vexclaw, Spectre again. This means that all of the places on Ferumbra's Ascendant were considered for this nerf, because they also touch Specters and they also touch the Plaguesmiths, and even Dark Torturers are there somewhere. Look at this. Dark Torturer is also here, and we wanna address this. It's not something that happens every day. This is like rebalancing in Tibia is something so rare that I don't remember that. I think they never done this. They never done this in the whole Tibia. So I wanna be like this, explaining the whole points of the rebalancing. And I was talking about the creatures. Yes, they did once a library. They only did it with Diamonds and library when it was first added. They did, but only in one spawn. And now they are doing this rebalancing on 20, taking into consideration 20 places, which is something they never did. It's the first time ever that they do a rebalancing in a like at this size. It's a lot of things to take in. And yeah, of course, if some things are bad, and besides, it's not something like people will react positively, because you're taking away profits and XP for 20 spawns. It's obvious there's gonna be people that won't like this, and that doesn't mean it's entirely bad. That doesn't mean it's good either. I'm not saying it's good. It's just that when I provide feedback, I try to understand what Zipsoft is trying to do. Because if I understand what they're trying to do, and we all understand that, then we are able to provide feedback accordingly. And that's the idea. You don't want to be telling them like, oh, this thing is the worst thing ever because I don't like it. But that doesn't really make sense to them, because they're gonna think, oh, you're just mad and you're not providing valuable feedback, therefore I ignore it. I have to ignore it because they want facts. That's what they want. What else can I say about this? It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in, indeed. It's too many things together, and that's why it has a huge impact in the game. Like I will repeat this. I'm not saying these changes are here to stay. There are some wrong things. Like, for example, we can see this in Tibia when you go to the bestiary, or you go at Tibia Wiki or whatever, or you even go to the library in Tibia, and you find out that the Fury gives less points than a Dragon Lord, for example. Where everybody's comparing creatures with the Dragon Lord, and I believe it's an okay creature. The Dragon Lord can be said that you can say it's balanced. And comparing Furies, for example, which give now less XP than a Dragon Lord, you can go with Vex Claws too. They almost give the same experience as a Dragon Lord, yes. But I'm not saying, just pay close attention. You're not comparing the loot as well. And that's something important. Because when you do compare it, you're gonna find out differences. That doesn't mean the XP should be nerfed like this. But what I'm saying is, changes are needed. Because the truth is, the high levels were exploiting the top spawns in Tibia. If you put me Roshamul doing 1kk hour profits with that decent XP that I used to do, which is 5kk plus, I was going to Summer Elves, I was finishing my Bestiaria, and I was doing 5.3kk hour at 100%, while also profiting. And I was lazy because if I were using ultimates, I would be profiting even more than 600k. That was what I was profiting. So take that into consideration when saying, well, this is awful, this is horrible, this should not be implemented, reverted. I'm gonna insist on this. I'm not saying these changes should be the final changes. There are many things that can be changed here, and they should be changed. It doesn't make any sense that there are creatures that are stronger than a Dragon Lord and they give less XP, so it doesn't really make sense at all. It doesn't really make sense in those things. But it is true that there is too much money in Tibia right now. The coin price yesterday was 25k on Sakura. I'm gonna find out how much is it right now. It will probably be a lot lower because I checked it at midday and it was already low. The Tibia coin price will fall, and that means the price on everything will adjust because you're making less money and people will not have enough money to buy things. Let's say a Falcon Plate. If you do have a Falcon Plate, and you're gonna understand that this amount of money, it's not gonna be something people will have to buy this, so the price will go down. And if, of course, if this stays, maybe they reverse some things and people end up doing a little bit more money, maybe some more money, but not as before. The conclusion that I'm drawing here for this is that, yeah, prices will change, and it's gonna be to reduce inflation, because we all know inflation in the game is something that makes it impossible to get, for example, a Ferumbra's hat for someone who plays not that much. You won't, if you don't have time to grind, you won't ever have that thing. And they want to kind of tackle that. If you do want a Ferumbra's hat, you can dedicate yourself to grind for money and get it in a reasonable amount of time, which is something I did back then. The game wasn't so inflated back then, and I was able to afford a Ferumbra's hat. Even though I needed help from my friends, it was something I could afford in like 6 months. Right now, you have to like play a long time, invest a lot of time in the game. You could buy it with 6 months of saving. Now you have to like hunt like 1 year making money to be able to reach that. And it's because of the inflation that's happening in the game, that everyone has money, therefore everything becomes expensive. And if someone goes to hunt and makes the same profit as you, while you're just going to carnivores, for example, and getting 1kk hour, but some guy is also doing 1kk hour while also doing 15kk XP, that becomes like an issue, because there will be so much money in the game, and you're gonna have money, he's gonna have money, everyone's gonna have money, and it's not gonna be good because your money is worth less, and that's what they want to tackle. Thing is, yeah, if you do hunt Roshamul like I do, then we're gonna struggle in that spawn, because they're gonna address Roshamul. If I hunt as a level 1000 in that spawn and they want to tackle what I'm earning, it will affect you. And that's something we have to understand. That's why they don't want to touch Drakens, but I don't understand why they don't want to touch Falcons, because Falcons is a pretty damn good place right now. And True Asuras were also left untouched. Doesn't really make sense. I don't know why they left these places behind. That's one of the issues we have to like address. Why are these places not being balanced as well? They want us to go there and make these hunts like the new thing. I think Falcons was already a good thing. Asuras was not bad at all. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. So they have to find a way to put all of this together and make it work, because if they don't tune it properly, the game is gonna go through a path that doesn't look good. I mean, I'm excited. I welcome this change. I truly like it. I enjoy it because it opens new possibilities. You don't go to library like to pay the top XP anymore, or maybe you do, but you won't be making money to sustain the top XP every day, every time. You won't be buying boosts with the profit. In fact, you're gonna waste money because it won't be the same profit. You cannot afford 30, 45 coins. You cannot afford 2 hours of boost 75 Tibia coins, because it's gonna cost you more than the profit, and it's gonna be noticeable. So what am I saying here? Like this balance was needed. If you wanna go for more XP, you have to pay it. You have to feel it in your balance. So yeah, if they want to tackle that on the high levels, because we are the ones who influence the game the most, they're gonna have to. You're gonna have collateral damage on lower levels, because they also want to hunt these places. They kinda can. You can go at a 500 night with proper care, taking like not maybe 8 creatures, but you could go with way less than that. You could try hunting 4 of them and maybe still get profit if this change wasn't there, but now it is. So it's gonna be a huge issue, because you're gonna be doing less XP and less profits at that place. But that doesn't mean you don't have spawns. You could also go to other places, but now you have to find them out. Maybe there aren't any, and that's the issue right now, because we have to discover if there are good places. I believe they are. We just have to look for them. I'm gonna tell you one of them right now. We believe these new specters, the lost souls, these new creatures, the flamesy, and not just the flamesy, the Ming, and the freakish lost souls. These creatures are really great right now. They actually received the buff in the, I believe it's the loot, and they have decreased XP, but it's not that much. So this is a place worth visiting. Not just the brain. The brain is high density, but I believe the other places have received like an also good like density. So we have to find them out. These places, the Netherworld, Sarganash, Inverness Rift, this is places that where these creatures appear, and they are more populated in Isabi. You can also check the Goannas, and you're gonna see the density is way higher, and it's something that you have to test on. Maybe the Goannas are the new thing. Maybe these Goannas can give you 6k hour, but nobody knows because nobody tries. And that's what I'm trying to say here. We have to try it in order to see what's the best place for hunting right now. Maybe we don't have any, and then yes, we have to tell Sips of, yeah, dude, you're taking my spawns away. I haven't even found any. But I believe it's still too early to say, well, this change is just too bad. Let's roll back, because I can't hunt skeletons anymore. And that logic doesn't make sense to me. Now, if you tell me that you at least tried, you tried Goannas and they didn't work, you tried the Lost Souls, they didn't work either, and you went to this other place that we still don't know, and it turns out it doesn't work. You went to Isabis because they were modified, but just tiny bit. In relation to the other places, they have like a decent XP. So maybe you hunt here and find out that it doesn't really give you a good feeling, like in the Isabi sewers. I'm talking about this place, by the way. If you do go here and you find out that you're actually not really satisfied by it, then it's time to post it, to make this feedback, rich tip stuff, and that's when they have to decide if they're gonna actually be lenient, they be a bit lenient with it or not. So yeah, conclusion, it's a huge change. This rebalancing is something controversial. It's still too early to say if it's going to be like a good thing or not. I believe the intention is good, but they still have to work on tuning the creatures, because nobody will go to Ferumbra's Ascendant right now if the XP is so low as I saw it. And overall, they have to like check this out at least every month. Doesn't it truly adds a benefit to the game if you balance all the hunting grounds, because every place will be competitive, and this brings the community together to like hunt and do other things without caring too much about the power abusing and all this stuff that affect negatively the game. So I like this proposal from them. The execution, like too many people say in the photos, not so much. But I believe this is kind of it. I can like summarize everything with this short like explanation. Well, maybe not too short.